90.3 The Rock, WUTK FM. That's what you've got it tuned to. In the studio, as I said again, I've got a chance to meet the guys, and it's really our pleasure to have them because we've enjoyed this record a whole lot, Letters in the Deep. And they are going to be performing tonight, opening up for the sold-out Mumford & Sons show at the Valerium. Going to be a double shot of very, very cool, high-energy acoustic music down at the Valerium tonight. Cadillac Sky in the house, fellas. Whoa, hello. There you go. Welcome to Knoxville, man.
Thank you.
Welcome, I guess, back to Knoxville. You've been to town time or two, I guess, haven't you?
We've played
step on up there.
We've played the Bijou Theater, and we've played the Square Room and Blue Plate Special and all that stuff around.
Very, very cool. So, well, we are very happy to have you back in, and very glad that you guys are here in the studio as part of our show on UTTV, The Rock Unplugged, and especially here live in studio as well, as we always enjoy bands coming in and performing live to let folks know what's going on with you. Tonight, of course, Big Mumford & Sons show. Been a great tour. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. But I guess if you would step up and introduce yourself and everybody else that's here and those who may not be here as well right now.
Yes, on the bass, that's Andy the Panda Moritz from Houston, Texas.
All right.
On the guitar, that's Mr. Levi Lowry from Tequila, Georgia.
All right.
On the banjo, that's Matthew Owen Menifee from Artesia, New Mexico.
Very cool.
My name is Ross Holmes from Fort Worth, Texas. That pretty much sums it up.
All right. We're glad to have you guys in studio, as I said. Congratulations on a fantastic record from earlier this year, Letters in the Deep. Really, really fine stuff. And as I said, we've been proud to play the tune you just heard there, which is a really, really cool tune, Break My Heart Again. We've got you tuned up and ready to go. You're getting ready to play some songs for us live in studio, so I don't want to get in the way. What you going to do first?
We'll try a song called Trapped Under the Ice.
Cool. If you will, turn that monitor down there just a second there in that speaker. Just a little bit there. Cool. And we'll let her go. Fellas, this is Cadillac Sky live on 90.3 The Rock and on UTTV, The Rock Unplugged. Hot stuff. Live in studio, Cadillac Sky here on 90.3 The Rock and UTTV, The Rock Unplugged, again, back in Knoxville. We're very, very proud to have them in studio here, opening up at the Valerium tonight for Mumford & Sons. Sold-out show. We already had a couple of calls, even between playing the CD and you guys going on, asking, man, how can I get tickets? It is a hot ticket. It's been sold out for quite some time. And as I said, we're really, really happy to have you guys in town. Step up, answer a few questions for me. I guess, Ross, you're going to do that. Sure. You guys originally based out of the Dallas area and have kind of adopted Nashville, or how's that all working out?
Yes, sir. Yeah, when the band sort of formed a few years back, everybody was living in Texas at the time, and it's just a process of life itself. We've sort of migrated to Nashville, and that's where we call home, and that's where we're based.
You guys enjoying life in Tennessee? We're glad to have you from Texas to Tennessee. I know you're surrounded
sister states.
Surrounded by a lot of other musicians and a lot of fun down there, I'm sure. In fact, I'll go ahead and get to it. We'll talk about the tour a little later. But you guys had a little extended set or two, I guess, in Nashville last week with your show. I have friends down there who were actually at the station inn and sent a couple of pictures my way. Tell us a little bit about that, man. That had to be a blast, both on the main stage you were performing on and then for what usually happens in Nashville, what happened afterwards?
Yeah, man, we heard a few years ago that the rock band Metallica had done a secret show at the Basement, which is this little tiny hole-in-the-wall venue in Nashville.
Right.
And being on this tour and being on the road with our friends, we were like, we should throw something together and just invite a bunch of our buddies out to come play. And so the station inn was gracious enough to have us come out at midnight. I think we actually started playing about 1 a.m. and it was Cadillac Sky and Mumford & Sons and Old Crow Medicine Show and Dierks Bentley and man, just a bunch of people. It was one of the coolest parties we've ever been at.
Couldn't find any musicians to help you out, I guess.
Not really. I mean, there were a lot of people attempting to play instruments.
Man, that's one of the reasons you moved to Nashville is situations that just pop up like that. I mean, it's pretty easy when you call Dierks Bentley up and say, hey, man, what you doing about 1 a.m. tonight? I mean, that had to be a lot of fun.
Usually Dierks and I just go get Greek food, but it was bluegrass that night.
Greek food and bluegrass, man, made for each other.
Exactly.
Well, the Station Inn is a place where things like that are supposed to happen, I think. I've been privy to some really cool shows down there, too. A lot of history been made in that little place for many, many years. And I have some friends, like I said, who were there that night and still talking about it and a lot of fun. We're going to get to this tour a little bit later because it's been a pretty extensive tour, doing very well for you guys, and you guys are going to follow up on top of that as well. But what you guys make, I've been seeing it described as rock and roll bluegrass, 21st century bluegrass. I was lucky enough to kind of cut my musical teeth on people like Newgrass Revival growing up, Tony Rice, people like that. Who did you all listen to, or who, I guess, kind of in the past and now has really, taken a big, put a big influence on you guys musically to get you to sound or do or perform how you do as Cadillac Sky today?
Well, definitely, yeah. Newgrass Revival and the Tony Rice unit and the progressive bluegrass artists and bands have definitely been an influence on us. But I think one of the unique things about Cadillac Sky is that we all come from such different backgrounds musically.
Yeah.
There's classical music, jazz, swing, bluegrass, of course, all kinds of influences that sort of dictate where the music is headed. And I think that's one of the cool things, especially about the latest record, Letters in the Deep. I think it's just a great fusion of all the styles, and getting to work with Dan Arbach on the record was just fantastic because the rocker that he is, he started with bluegrass music.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a unique take on quasi-acoustic bluegrass music, and I think the next record that we do will definitely be even more in that vein. It's just an evolution. It's one of the exciting things about the band.
Very cool. Never happy with how you sound, but never satisfied. Always working on it, always tweaking it.
Never satisfied.
Absolutely,
Hate
man.
it most of the time.
What you can't hate the fact, though, that right now seems to be a pretty amazing time for 21st century bluegrass, if you will, for rock and roll bluegrass, if you will. I mean, Mumford & Sons, Yvette Brothers, Old Crow, Punch Brothers, on and on. I mean, are y'all feeling it out there, too? It seems to be clicking right now, and, some great musicians make up every one of those bands, including you guys.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's been a great blessing to get to know a lot of these guys out there. I mean, you mentioned the David Brothers and of course, the Punch Brothers with Thiele and Chris Thiele and all those guys. I mean, they're all heroes of ours, and Mumford & Sons, I mean, they'll be lifelong friends. I mean, those guys are so precious and dear to all of us and have been such a great influence on I think, the direction that we're heading and just life in general. We're just so thankful to get to play music in a community of people where that's allowed. So many genres, I think, are you sort of standoffish a little bit. It's all about one individual or one band, and this is very much a community of musicians playing music, because that's completely what it's about. Nothing more. It's just about the music and the friendship.
I've been involved in bluegrass for many years. Actually, helped the folks over. We love WDVX, our non-com partners in radio crime here in town, and what they do with Blue Plate and everything else. And I was involved in helping get them on the air and did a bluegrass show called Stomp in the Gravy years ago. And you know, there was friction, even, it seemed, with that old school bluegrass camp and some of that newgrass stuff. I mean, you still had Newgrass Revival and Tony Rice Unit and people like that, but it seems like a lot of that friction, if you will, is starting to go away, and it's becoming more of an accepting, welcome circle as far as not just bluegrass but Americana and acoustic music in general.
Right.
Are you guys feeling that out there too? Because like I said, the success of people like you all and Yvette Brothers and, you know, Old Crow and what Mumford's come across the pond and done, I don't think that could have happened if it wasn't for some of this relaxing of the traditional, if you will. But you got, I mean, in all these bands, you still hear that traditional influence too, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I think the center of it is a bluegrass spirit and mentality. But really, in the end, I mean, I don't know. I think one of the coolest things about this whole movement is that it's bringing in all kinds of young people from across musical genres. I mean, let's face it, the majority of kids out there like pop and rock music, and if you can do that with bluegrass instrumentation, they're going to be attracted to it because it's kind of cool and unique. And then on top of that, they sort of discover more of the traditional stuff. I mean, it's been so cool that we've had young people come up to us at the shows and say, man, I got your record, and then I found Tony Rice, and man, then I found Bill Monroe. It was amazing. You know,
and the dominoes just keep falling.
It's like a backwards tumble up the hill.
Yeah, it's perfect. Ross, man, way to go, dude. We got Cadillac Sky live in the studio here on 90.3 The Rock and on UTTV. The Rock Unplugged. My name's Benny Smith. Proud to have these guys in the studio today. Again, they're opening up for Mumford & Sons tonight at the Valerium. Sold out show, folks. Sold out shows. So maybe you can get on Craigslist and go take out a mortgage and go get you a pair of tickets for this thing tonight. But it's going to be a hot show. So what I'm trying to tell you is be sure and get there early. With a sold out show in general admission, you want to get there early so you can kind of jockey for position. Get there early. Be sure and check these guys out. I think it's 7 o'clock doors, so 8 o'clock showtime or so down at the Valerium tonight. Going to be a great time when Cadillac Sky hits the stage. You've got the stage still here in the studio. How about another one while we got you still in tune? How's that? What you going to do?
Let's try an old tune called Hangman.
Right on. This is Cadillac Sky live on 90.3 The Rock and UTTV The Rock Unplugged. Let her go, boys.
1, 2, down, down.